Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com and the Victorious Hockey Company with this morning's Junior Hockey Morning Show. It's December 28th, Wednesday, 52 degrees here in sunny Orlando, Florida. Not so warm in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where my guest Eric Ballard is currently residing. Eric, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Stephen. I'm doing great, buddy. Thanks for having me again, brother.
You know what? I'm really impressed. 3 days in a row, I got you up out of bed in your office by 7 a.m. Mountain Time. Impressive. Very impressive.
Well, it's the job, my friend. It is the job.
World Juniors Day 3. Yesterday, very interesting. Didn't have the same level of drama as the first day, but the storylines were there nonetheless. Switzerland won their second straight game. 3-2 win in the shootout over Latvia. And Sweden sweated out a very close game with Germany winning 1-0. Finland rebounded from their opening day loss with the win. And Czech Republic, or Czechia, slammed Austria 9-0 to close out the day. Interesting games yesterday, Eric. Not a lot of surprises. I think Sweden's looks almost unbeatable. And then they dropped that bomb with Germany winning 1-0. Very interesting game yesterday.
Yeah, the Swede-German game was a good game. They traded punches back and forth, and that was a really good game. And I think Sweden hung on. I mean, there's no question. Germany had some opportunities. They had some opportunities in the late frame there where they had a number of odd man rushes, and they just couldn't capitalize. So I think Sweden got away from that one, but they're 2-0, and but the Germans look good.
Germans look good. Czechia looks really good. They're 2-0 in that Group A with 6 points. With time with Sweden. The rest of the teams, Germany, Canada, and Austria, all have 0 points. So they have a 6-point lead after 2 games. That's a pretty good feat in that Group A. Group B is Switzerland leading with 4 points, with Finland with 4 points. U.S. has 3 points. Latvia 1 point, and Slovakia 0. Today's game should be another great day of hockey. Latvia and Finland, both teams. Latvia is 0-1-1. Finland is 1-0-1. Playing their third game in 3 days. This is one of those situations where depth and endurance plays a major role. And I have to think that Finland wins that battle. What do you think, Eric?
You know, if they didn't have to go 3 days in a row, Latvia, I think their goaltending is really good. A young man that's playing in Danbury there, Berkins. I really like him as a goaltender. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be tighter than the Finns want, but I see the Finns coming out on top on this one.
Yeah, I do too. It's fun. I was able to see Carlos Zernis on TV yesterday. Kind of cool seeing an old NHL guy out there doing so well. And then I'm not a big Danbury fan, but that goalie is certainly fantastic. And I think his experience this year dealing with all the 50 to 60 shots a game in Danbury is paying off for those guys right now.
There's no question. I mean, obviously, I checked his stats out. He hasn't. I think he's 2-9, but he's got a 92-1 save percentage in Danbury, and he committed to University of Maine. So obviously, they know what they got with him, and but he's kept that Latvian team in the hunt. And I don't know Carlos that well. I actually watched him play when we lived in Loveland, Colorado. He played for the Colorado Eagles for a couple of years, and I had the privilege of meeting him and watching him play. So excited to see some of those guys that we know, stay in the game and get to a very high level.
He's a good guy, and he was at in Nashville. The Junior Predators did very well in the 3HL. Went to Bossier City or Shreveport, and instantly won with the Mudbugs. Went to Fairbanks up there. With Largent, did well. The guy's been all over the place and has been able to succeed over and over and over again. Big Carlos Zernis fan, not a Harry Mahood fan. And I think Carlos is kind of like Harry's boss. I'm waiting for Carlos to go to Amarillo and make that thing right, but not today. Sweden 2-0-0 versus Czechia 2-0-0. This is the game of the day. Sweden got into a heated battle with Germany yesterday, while Czechia looked like they were going to cruise through the pool play. Czechia looks really good, but Sweden, I think, this has more guns, more depth, and I think we see Sweden win this game.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a matchup. That's going to be probably the best matchup for the day, no question. Not just because they're 2-0, but they both have size. They both have skill. They're both, extremely deep. They can throw almost anything at each other. I'm going to go the opposite direction, though. I'm going to take Czechia over Sweden. It's going to be a tight one, I'm going with Czechia over the Swedes.
I think Eric's trying to get that game back from yesterday, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Well, all right. That game yesterday, I had it. Oh, well.
Slovakia 0-1-0 versus United States 1-0-0. Slovakia is not going to roll over for anybody, especially not the Americans. USA needs to remain focused and take advantage of superior depth and fresh legs. I think USA.
Yeah, not because we're USA guys, but it does help. But there's no question. I think USA hockey wins. USA wins this one. It's going to be a really good game, though. The Slovaks are a tough team to beat, and I think the U.S. team just didn't hit their stride in opening game until the third period. And having a day off and getting back after it, I definitely take Team USA over the Slovaks today.
I think the Americans have a lot of advantages. They have the depth. They've been playing together more so than most guys have been able to play together in most teams. So we'll see how that materializes today. The big game, really, Canada versus Germany, it shouldn't be that big of a game, but it really is. I can't help but wonder what Canada was thinking watching Germany give Sweden so much hell yesterday. I think the advantage for Canada is going to be that they had the day off. They're able to watch that game, and Germany had to slug through that with Sweden. It gives Canada some advantage, but Canada is dealing with a lot of other things at the same time. Being at home, the pressure, the negative press after the first day loss. So we'll see how they rebound today. I'm going to pick Canada.
Yeah, there's no question. I think it's going to be a good game. I think for the first period, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a lot of back and forth. But I see Canada unleashing a little bit of their firepower and who they are. You're right. They had a day to kind of think over things. And trust me, we both know they're getting a ton of pressure from the coaching staff all the way down on their home soil. I see Canada in the second and third frame really coming out and giving it to the Germans. So I definitely take Canada over our Team Germany today. Excuse me.
I mean, the Canadian scouting and coaching staff it's involved in every single kitchen from, Whitehorse to Halifax, right? Every dad out there is watching, every fan's watching and assessing what happened, why they didn't win, what was the big issue, what were they doing right, what were they doing wrong. Between the pipes, they weren't good, just were not good in that first game. And then the skill players trying to do too much. I think in this game, you see Canada really get back to basics, stop more pucks, at least better than 60%, whatever it was in that first game. Wasn't pretty at all. But in this game, I think Canada just uncorks and lets it rip.
Yeah, there's no question. Their depth is unbelievable. Like I was going through their depth chart yesterday, and they got all draft picks except for the one goaltender who's draft eligible this year. So at the NHL level, they don't make a lot of mistakes. So when you've got that many draft picks on a roster, it's just all about them finding their groove and getting sync with each other. I think you're right, though. I think today's game for the Canadians they're going to be primed and ready to go, and they're going to explode.
And Germany's going to come in after that battle and, just not be as fresh as Canada's going to be coming in with that after that day off. And, Germany, you could tell in yesterday's game, really gave it everything they possibly had. And I like seeing that. I like seeing kids skate off the ice and be completely gassed. And all too often, we don't get to see that in U.S. junior hockey and Canadian junior hockey right now in the leagues. Kids are just not skating that hard. But in this World Junior competition, especially yesterday, the Germany left it all on the ice. I'm afraid they won't have much left over for today's game.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. I think, like I said, that first period is going to be good, feel each other out, but I think the Canadians are going to take full advantage. And you're right. The Germans really emptied the tank against the Swedes and gave the Swedes everything they could handle. So It's going to be a good first period, but I think the Canadians are going to roll away with it in the second and third.
So we only have one conflicting game today. We had one conflicting game yesterday. I got about half a dozen phone calls after going up a game on you after the end of yesterday's tilt. People are really talking crap about you, Eric. I don't know, people from Wyoming, people from Montana. You got to beat Eric Ballard. I heard that all day yesterday.
Well, you know what, though? There's no such thing as bad press, Stephen. Press is press, right? So if they're talking about me, something must be good.
Yeah, you have a lot of fans out there, Eric. It's we've been doing this for a long time. We've been friends for very long time, and we've always had good conversations. So this show has been popular amongst our mutual friends. Some of your friends hate me to no end. I think all my friends like you. So but I'm that guy, right? I'm the guy that people love to pile on, especially if you're an attorney from New Jersey this last week. So.
Yeah, you've never been controversial at all, Stephen. So I don't know why people are saying that.
So I sent an email yesterday to Dave Fisher at USA Hockey. Of course, he's busy with World Juniors. I would like to set a desk up or a table up at the winter meetings here in Orlando when you guys are here in a few weeks. I don't know if they're going to go along with that, or they're going to put security outside to block me from going in again. So we'll see what happens. I got some pressure from the back to allow it. We'll see if Mark Frankenfeld makes sure he gets in there and make sure I can't get in there and do that show. But we'll see how it goes. It should be fun. Eric, quick show today. What do you got going on today in out in the land of milk and honey in Wyoming?
We got getting on the ice with my high school program and my coaching staff this morning, and then it's that second part of the year where we're kind of in the home stretch after the new year. So just a lot of on ice and coach and player development stuff for the next couple months. But today it's just on the ice with the high school program and a little bit of paperwork. Very good, very good. When are you guys winding up your season? Usually the end of February, or are you guys going to March and April? So it goes all the way till about the second to last week of March, but state tournament play here in Wyoming will start as soon as mid-February with my U19 girls program. And then high school and Bantams will be consecutively the 2 weeks after. It's so right around the end of February, first weekend in March is when all the state tournament play is done. And then we'll play a couple additional tournaments after that. Very good. I know you as a coach all these years, but this is the first time I've seen you having to be on the bench for multiple teams at one time. Have you set the record for the most games in one season yet while you're there in Wyoming? You know what? I don't keep track, and the reason why I think it's a little overwhelming sometimes. But it's been a great experience for me. I've been here 4 years now, and it's been a great experience to work with the players and the coaches, and we got a pretty special deal here in Jackson. So it's been good. I get zero complaints, and every day is a new challenge. That's for sure. So the Jackson Hole Moose are a senior elite team that's been around for a long time. To me, it's kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters. You guys never lose. When's the last time you actually lost a game with the Moose? I think we dropped a couple games last year. That experience has been another one. When I first moved to town, Bob Caruth, who owns and operates the Moose, convinced me to go play a few games. I think I played like 12 games that year. I think I'm still hurt from 4 years ago. And he retired, and I took over. It's a real unique situation. You've never been to a Moose game, a senior game. There's 1,000+ people in the building. The roster is just, filled with former NCAA Division I, American League guys, major junior guys, a lot of D3 kids. It's just really fun. We're off to a good start this year. We finished the first half of the season 10-0. Haven't lost a game yet. So off to another good start. But yeah, it's a unique experience to say the least. We'd like to get you guys to play against one of those NA3HL teams from Montana that talks so much baloney, like maybe Helena against the Moose. You guys could play each other, but how would you guys do against a team like that, do you think? I don't think we'd entertain it. just for the simple fact is I don't think there's a good outcome on either side. Like I said, this roster this year especially, we've got guys that played. We got one of our top players played at UMD and Canisius, and just the list goes on and on. We got a lot of NCAA Division I high-powered athletes. So, and when we play teams that come into town, we play a lot of former NHL guys. Just a couple weeks ago, we had Cody Hodgson on the bench with me coaching, and we had David Booth, who played over 500 games in the National Hockey League, played a game for us. Now he's over in Norway. Those are the type of players we get in here on occasion, and it's I don't think we'd entertain an NA3 game. I think we might entertain maybe like a prospects, federal prospects team, or even an SV team. But
that'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be a good time. It'd challenge us, but the NA3 that probably wouldn't happen.
Very good, Eric. Let's catch up tomorrow, and we'll see how we did today and see if we're going to even the score, or am I going to go up 2-0 on you? We'll see after today's games.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. This has been the Junior Hockey Morning Show on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, Facebook, Twitter, and I think Yahoo again. Not Yahoo. YouTube. Yahoo, YouTube. I get confused. I'm getting old, my friends.
Yeah.
Until tomorrow. Eric,